This is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of A Prayer for My Daughter by William Butler Yeats. Yeats wrote this poem in 1919, and this year is marked for the beginning of the Irish War of Independence. This war lasted until 1921, and Yeats was heavily influenced by this. The poem's location is Tour Ballet or Ballet Castle. Actually, Yeats and George Heidi Lees had a daughter named Annie in 1919. And it is for this Annie, that is his daughter, Yeats had written this poem. In this poem, he explores themes of beauty, innocence, and fatherhood. But at the same time, we can also read the poem as a political work on Irish nationalism. He has written this in 10 stanzas, and each stanzas have 8 lines. And he has written it in iambic pentameter and iambic tetrameter. The poem opens with a storm raging while his child is sleeping. She is protected by her cradle. Yeats describes the land surrounding their home. There is only a neighborhood wood and a small hill with a haystack on it to buffer the home during strong winds from the Atlantic Ocean. So he has been walking and praying because of his gloomy thoughts for the past hour. While walking and praying, he has been listening to the wind hitting the tower where he lives, a bridge and trees above a stream. He imagines a future and compares it to a dancer coming out of the sea like the wind. He prays his daughter be given beauty, but he does not want too much beauty because excessive beauty would cause unwanted attention from strangers. It may also cause his daughter to believe beauty is more important than other qualities like kindness and rightness, and therefore she may be left friendless. He uses Helen of Troy as an example of excessive beauty. He also prays for qualities he wants his daughter to learn, focusing on manners. He believes a kind demeanor will make a woman who is not excessively beautiful still somewhat attractive to the right suitor. It is only foolish men who often value beauty, but most men will stick beside the women who values kindness. He compares his daughter to a tree. He hopes her thoughts will resemble a bird and that she will be entertaining. Also, he prays she will have a long-term home. He reflects on how loving excessively beautiful women has stagnated his mind. He is only certain that hate will ruin the chances a woman has. The absence of hate will allow the bird to stay on its leaf in the tree and have a home. He says that absence of hate brings a deep-rooted innocence of the soul. The soul can amuse itself and enact the will of heaven. Once she has rediscovered the soul's innocence, his daughter might remain happy despite any storm in her life. He prays his daughter will find a husband who will provide her with a proper home. According to him, ceremony and custom are the only places where one can find beauty and innocence. This is the summary of the poem. Come, let's see what he says in the poem. Once more, the storm is howling, and half hid under this cradle hood and coverlid my child sleeps on. There is no obstacle but Gregory's wood and one bare hill, whereby the haystack and rope leveling wind bred on the Atlantic can be stayed. And for an hour I have walked and prayed because of the great gloom that is in my mind. I have walked and prayed for this young child an hour and heard the sea wind scream upon the tower and under the arches of the bridge and scream in the elm above the flooded stream, imagining in excited reverie that the future years had come, dancing to a frenzied drum out of the murderous innocence of the sea. May she be granted beauty, and yet not beauty to make a stranger's eye distraught, or hers before a looking glass, for such, being made beautiful overmuch, consider beauty a sufficient end, lose natural kindness, and maybe the heart revealing intimacy that chooses right and never find a friend. Helen, being chosen, found life flat and dull, and later had much trouble from a fool, while that great queen that rose out of the spray being fatherless, could have her way, yet choose a bandy-legged smith for man. It's certain that fine women eat a crazy salad with a meat, whereby the horn of plenty is undone. In courtesy, I would have her chiefly learnt. Hearts are not had as a gift, but hearts are earned by those that are not entirely beautiful. Yet many that have played the fool for beauty's very self has charm made wise, and many a poor man that has roved, loved, and thought himself beloved, from a glad kindness cannot take his eyes. May she become a flourishing hidden tree, that all her thoughts may like the linnet be, and have no business but dispensing round the magnanimities of sound, nor but in merriment begin a chase, nor but in merriment a quarrel. Or may she live like some green laurel rooted in one dear perpetual place. My mind, because the minds that I have loved, the sort of beauty that I have approved, prosper but little, has dried up of late, yet knows that to be choked with hate may well be of all evil chances chief. If there is no hatred in a mind, assault and battery of the wind can never tear the linnet from the tree. And intellectual hatred is the worst. So let her think options are accursed. Have I not seen the loveliest woman born out of the mouth of plenty's horn? Because of her opinionated mind, barter that horn and every good by quiet natures understood, for an old bellows full of angry wind. Considering that all hatred driven hence, the soul receives radical innocence and learns at last that it is self delighting, self appeasing, self affrighting, and that its own sweet will is heaven's will. She can, though every face should scrawl and every windy quarter howl, or every bellows burst, be happy still. And may her bridegroom bring her to a house where all's accustomed ceremonious, for arrogance and hatred are the wares peddled in the thoroughfares. How but in custom and in ceremony are innocence and beauty born, ceremony is a name for the rich horn, and custom for the spreading laurel tree. This is a poem which is written. It's a beautiful poem and a very famous one. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.